in Miami.
¿Qué onda, pandilla? Bienvenidos a Conversaciones de Altura, edición martes por la tarde. Tenemos grandes invitados desde Austin, Texas. Can you please introduce yourself? I don't know how to say your name in English, actually. It's
Sandy?
no.
Skloss!
Skloss. It's like the name band.
Skloss.
Skloss. Nice to meet you. Well, we were talking just before we started, but thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to meet you. This is going to be interesting because I'm not going to translate right away. So, para los que no hablan inglés, lo sentimos, amigos. Trataré de hacer una pequeña traducción en lo que platicamos. Pero bueno, welcome to Mexico City. How are you feeling today?
Muy
Good.
bien.
Good.
Muchísimas gracias.
Is this your first time in? Well, it's not your first time in Mexico, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I was in Mexico City. I've been in Mexico a few times, but haven't been in.
Sorry, I think we're having some issues. I was trying to do some stuff, but apparently there's nothing.
Uh-oh.
It's not recording.
No, it is, but it doesn't sound like something is happening. Let me check. Sorry, friends. Lo siento, amigos. ¿Y se escucha? So, yes, I think we're ready to go. Sorry, it's just stuff that happened.
Oh, no problem.
In live.
I can try and speak in Spanish a little bit.
Okay. When was the last time that you spoke?
That I was in Mexico?
No, that you spoke Spanish.
Hace como 20 años.
That's when you learn?
Yeah, pero no he practicado nada.
But it's easy to practice in Austin, isn't it? Or
Más o menos. Yeah.
Austin, we were talking just before we started about Austin, and it's an interesting place because there's a lot of music that has come out of Austin, right? It's like a very cultural city. I love it there. Even like I remember back when I went there more often, like in early 2000s, there was like the emo movement, right? And also like hardcore and metal came out of Texas in general, but especially Austin. How long have you been living there?
My whole life.
You're native.
Basically, I'm a native Austinite, yeah.
And
Soy de Austin.
And how has that changed, like in music-wise? Like nowadays, I know there's like a big stand-up comedy movement there or scene there.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about music.
I feel like there's been a growth of like a psychedelic and sort of heavy music over the last, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years. And there's always psych music, like with Rocky Erickson. Back in the day. 13th floor elevators, yeah. And there's a band called the Black Angels that's from Austin, and they put on the Levitation Music Festival. And they actually, when Rocky Erickson of the 13th floor elevators kind of started to recover, they helped him put on some shows and sort of do like a small revival of that chapter of Austin. But, the early days of Austin was like Janis Joplin was there, and
Townes Van Zandt.
Townes Van Zandt was there, and there was kind of like the this like folk country movement, Even Willie Nelson was kind of a part of that.
Yes, yeah.
So and I'd say it's still alive and well. You can go see a band every night.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like an oasis in Texas because the rest of Texas is way different from Austin.
Yeah.
With all due respect to Texas.
Yes.
But it's very different, right? It's like
It
more open-minded, I guess.
Yeah.
It's more
More
artistic, more liberal.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has changed because of what I said before about the stand-up right-wing scene there.
Yeah.
You know, with like Joe Rogan and all those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like, I mean, you're telling me that it has remained the same music wise, right? And
It's
like,
still alive.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
alive.
But I would say, if you look at the skyline and the way that it's changed even in the last like 3 years, and maybe since like Tesla's moved there.
Oh
and
yeah, that's correct. Tesla moved.
Oracle. So that, and Joe Rogan. So there's a whole population that's coming with that migration.
Yeah. The
and they
Elon
may not.
Musk thing is weird, right? Because I guess he brought work and money, but he has like weird ideas I don't necessarily agree with.
Yeah. Well, and you thought he was cool. That's like the worst part. You're like, oh, he's the green energy,
Yeah.
electric car guy. And then you're like, oh no, he sucks.
Yeah, he sucks very. Yeah, that's how at the start of his, how you call it, his internet presence, you would think of him as like the cool tech guy.
Yeah.
But then after some time, you realize that he's like, I mean, this is not news, but people call him like the Lex Luthor.
Yes.
You know Lex Luthor from like
Superman?
the bad guy from
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
Dick
Pretty
Whittle.
much, yeah, like the bad guy, right? Like with
Yeah.
with tons of money. But anyways, I was reading about your band that you are pretty much like a pandemic band, right? Like you started during the pandemic, which fuck it, it's weird. It's gonna be 6 years now. You know what I mean? Like
Quick, yeah.
they
It's
stole.
impossible.
Yeah, they stole. How many years? Like 3 years.
Yeah.
Yes, give me a second. I think Jorge. ¿Es Jorge? No, sí se nos pueden esperar acá. Gracias. Sorry, yeah. It's just that we have another band coming from Colombia.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So the pandemic, and was it an easy start for your band? Was it just like, okay, let's start jamming, let's see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, we were we were jamming a little bit before the pandemic kind of kicked in.
Can you get closer to the mic, please?
Sorry, yeah, we were jamming a little bit before the pandemic, and then when that kind of kicked in, we were locked in our house, and we had all our instruments set up in our living room, and we just started jamming and then sort of writing songs, but it was just kind of organic, just happened,
Wow. Was because I know in the States, like things, how can I say this? Like people are not very tolerant regarding noise.
Yeah, well,
We've been lucky.
we've been lucky.
When it comes to that.
Yeah, our neighbours have been cool.
Yeah.
They give us a curfew. We try to not be allowed past 9 o'clock. That was our old house. Then we moved over to this other house, and there was no house next door, so we play full volume there. And the one neighbour who built a house is nice, and then the younger tech kids don't like it. But the old people who are they're 70 years old next door. They gave me a certificate to Guitar Center, so they like us. But the tech bros don't really like it. They're just like, I can't hear my Zoom call, next door. And we're like, sorry, we got to practice. But no, we're lucky with the neighbours. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I was having this conversation not too long ago that now this is kind of new, maybe 8 years ago, like studios, like rehearsing studios started opening more in Mexico City. But besides that, it was just like you would rehearse at someone's house.
Right.
And that was maybe houses like this, that they will allow you to rehearse. And sometimes even like apartments, like at someone's apartment. But that would be, you would have to stop rehearsing at like 6 p.m. or 7 when everybody would come.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew like my friends that live in Houston, they would rehearse in like big buildings, like only dedicated for rehearsals, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, how did they rehearse during the pandemic. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bands. I feel like there was a total. Speaking of the Austin music scene, there was a reset
Yeah.
during the pandemic. Like a lot of the bands that were playing before the pandemic sort of went away.
Really?
Some of the venues went away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about Red 7, that had turned into another version, but it was basically it went away and turned into a comedy club. You know,
Yeah,
So-
that sucks.
it just really. I think it depended on if you had a way to easily play together during the pandemic, and we had it pretty easy because we lived together. And
Yeah, yeah.
That was
and we had tolerant neighbors. And most of the last album was written when we had no neighbors at all when we first moved into our house, and it was a brand new house, and there were the houses on either side hadn't been built yet or hadn't been finished, so
Oh, wow.
that made it a lot easier.
The old neighbour was a drummer.
Oh,
too.
the
He was
original
a drummer,
other-
and he said,
yeah.
"I don't care when you practice." And we were like, "This is
Yeah.
perfect."
I mean, in Austin, everyone's a musician, so it's really like
Kinda cool.
normal.
They understand, right?
Yeah, kind of. At least
yeah.
in the old Austin, everyone's a musician. Now it's half and half.
Like-
Half musician, half tech people.
Oh, yeah. Like, what was the place in California?
San Francisco, Silicon Valley, yeah.
Valley, just
Yeah.
like tech guys. And
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
so, as a couple, how hard or how easy it is to write music?
It's kind of
It's sort of organic.
it's pretty easy actually. I mean, we just
I mean, the only funny thing is that neither one of us are like classically trained. So, we'll be writing something and, we practice at a pretty loud volume, and we also write at a loud volume. And so then even just to talk to each other, like you've got these giant cabinets and all this stuff, and it's like, and I'm like, I think that you should. He goes, what about the big bit? At the big bit, why don't we do the what?
do hit it there at the big bit.
I
and
think you
then
should do the smashy bit there.
the smashy bit. What about the quiet? Hit the quiet bit 4 times, and then the big bit 5 times, and then what? But yeah,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's all right. I mean, it's still the same sort of.
It
right.
seems like we're yelling at each other, and we are yelling at each other, but it's mainly because it's really loud.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still the same sort of process as when we were doing the pandemic. We're still jamming in
Yeah.
the living room, and then that's
It's just been getting louder and louder and louder, though.
Yeah, I bet. Especially having only 2 members in a band, right?
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to compensate
for 2 more people.
for the bass and well, I guess you do with your
Yeah.
like splitting the signal, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about that later, but so as a couple, did you share the same musical taste or
It's kind of different, actually.
It's overlapping, yeah, because I'm obviously not a heavy metal drummer style.
well, you mean like double bass? And
Yeah. Although I might start to work that in. We'll see, maybe on the next record. But
Yeah, we get kind of different tastes, I'm like
Yeah.
more like, I mean, we like everything, but like
Yeah.
I'm more of like the heavier sort of person, It's funny because whenever I come up with something, I'm picturing the drums in my head, what it's going to sound like, and then
Right.
Karen plays the drums, and it's completely different from what I thought,
Interesting.
in a great way. But I'm just like, oh, I never thought about that. Can I play into it? That's cool.
I mean, I was kind of in a dream pop band before this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm more into like psych and
Yeah.
but I love like Chelsea Wolfe and Russian Circles and
Yeah, yeah,
Sleep
yeah.
and stuff like that. So there's definitely like room for us to unite.
Yeah, yeah. And in like what bands do you disagree? Taste.
I'm not a
taste-wise?
big fan of screamo.
Really.
I know.
I'm not either. Yeah.
It's funny, but I've been listening to like the real screamo, like not like the what they call screamo, and there were like the kids with the hair.
Yeah.
Not that, but like the real screamo bands like Orchid and Seisha and well, that like the more violent punk rock hardcore.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of that lately, and I like it, to be honest.
I mean, maybe someday I'll come around.
I think Karen's like, yeah.
I was raised Catholic, and I just think of demons coming for me or something. I don't know.
As soon as someone's screaming, it doesn't even have to be screamo. I think you're thinking anything that's got like a. Karen hates it.
Oh, like black metal.
Just
Yeah, black metal.
anything that's just really like.
I mean, I think there's some places,
Some bits you
some
like it.
things that I do.
Yeah.
you know.
She's coming around. She's coming around.
Like Torch, there's that one song, Torch,
amazing.
that there's one song of Torch that I just adore. And then
But
the
they
rest
don't
of it.
scream.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
That's very tuneful. Very.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like how do you refer to Torch? Like doom pop.
It's kind of poppy. It's really
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually I'm friends with those guys.
Oh, cool.
With Jonathan Nunez and drummer Rick. They're amazing people.
Yeah.
But they have like a how they call it, like a side band called Shitstorm.
Oh,
But that's like screamo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very grindcore-ish.
yeah. I liked Floor a whole lot. That was
Floor,
Yeah.
Floor, they're amazing
Yeah.
too.
I got pedals from Nunez as well. I bought some pedals from him. Made some pedals.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
never saw Floor.
Oh yeah.
They were, I mean, they didn't come. I
I
mean,
saw them a few times in Austin. Yeah.
oh, cool. Yeah, they were pretty cool. But so being like I was raised Catholic, as 98% of Mexicans, but I don't know, and I ask myself if that has had an influence in why I started listening to Slayer and
Yeah.
Right.
Sepultura, Brujeria. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
To rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you, it wasn't like
Well,
that?
I mean, I went to Catholic schools and everything where I don't know, maybe you did this too, where like you could take home the statue of like the Virgin Mary or something. Like, you know, is this if you were really well behaved? Like your family could
No,
take it
they-
home
they
for the
did. You mean
weekend
like
or
the
something.
school given?
Yeah,
you that?
yeah. The school would let us take home like the statue.
No,
And-
sí, aquí pasaba eso, de que te diera la escuela.
No sé sobre eso.
No, I don't think that's common, but like, I mean, Virgen Maria,
Yeah,
she's like Mexican's hero.
yeah. And so my mom was really into like Lourdes and like Our Lady of Fatima, and would like. And my parents were like into like speaking in tongues and you know like all that like Catholic charismatic stuff that was kind of like I don't know like kind of witchy actually, but they were Catholic, you know, and so like she showed me like videos of like you know the Virgin like crying like bloody tears and stuff like that, and that shit scared me.
Oh yeah, that can be creepy. Yeah, like
So it just like you know it kind of like had this. It took me a long time, like, and psychedelics were like the easier road for me because it's like softer, you know.
Oh yeah. Also, I was gonna ask you that how much of an influence has psychedelics having in your music?
Oh, like actual psychedelics.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because I watched the videos and
Yeah.
and heard the music and so like the aesthetic, is that how you say? The aesthetic that the band has. So for me, I'm a proponent of psychedelics, but more in the healing,
yeah,
know yourself kind of way, as opposed
Yeah.
to just
party.
for fun.
Yeah,
Party.
agreed.
I mean, to each its own, but I'm not really a fan of that. I'm more like I said, healing side of things,
Yeah.
and also the artistic side of things. So I asked you now, like how much of that has had in your lives and in your music.
Yeah.
Not me.
No,
Not him, but but this is where we interlock. I think is you know I mean growing up in Austin, that is just a place where that's like a part of the fabric of the place, and so you know.
hippie. Was there like hippie movement there? You know.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
big
like
time.
Janis Joplin kind of stuff. But then, you know, by the time I was in school, I mean, we were really into it in high school, and we would do acid like every weekend, and
Oh, nice.
we were looking for, you know, we were seekers,
Yeah.
but we were just dorks, like playing chess and like listening to Jack Kerouac or like reading each other Jack Kerouac books and just being like total like just I don't-
Funny.
nerds.
Yeah. I was always into this, like psychedelic bands and the music, you know, without taking psychedelics. That was psychedelic enough for me. I could get off in the music, you know.
Yeah, I always kind of envy people that don't need a substance to listen to music, because I mean I was one of those people that thought that weed makes you listen to music in a better way. But I've been thinking about that, and I think it's very individual
Agreed.
on how you perceive music. Like for me, the thing that attracted me to weed was music. Like I smoke weed. It wasn't in Austin, but it was in Houston. The first time I smoked weed, and uh, right away it's like, okay, for me, music and weed, that's it. And I've never. I mean, I've had my breaks of smoking weed, but that connection between weed and music for me is undeniable. But that doesn't mean that it's like the same for everybody, you know? Like I envy people that don't smoke weed and still.
I mean, I smoke weed or I'll like do mushrooms, but like I don't do it to write music. You know, it's not like I've been like I'm gonna get stoned and like play guitar. I'll just be like
I did it so much.
I didn't.
I can't really do it now. Like,
I don't mind going to a show and being like stoned or like like a bit of mushrooms at a show, but I'm, you know, never really influenced the music. I'd kind of, you know, I would be into the bands that were actually on psychedelics, Butthole Surfers and all that. I'm like, these guys come up with this crazy music. I love it. Wow.
yeah.
That was good enough for me.
Really.
Sid Barrett.
Sid Barrett,
Yeah, yeah.
Elevators. Yeah.
So it hasn't had that much of an influence in the band.
I mean,
I don't know how it couldn't for me, just because I feel like it's part of my circuitry.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think that we don't need to do it like
to make music.
I think we can just get into that space from
I
past
think,
experience already. You
Right.
know,
Right.
life's enough of a trip sometimes without doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100.
in fact, like if I played a show stoned, I don't know if I could play a show.
I couldn't either.
I know some people who have to, but like I'm not
Yeah.
sure if I could get through a show
No, for me,
on mushrooms. Like
no,
terrifying.
no, for me, not even weed. Like the times that I have played shows high, is like I fucked up.
Oh yeah.
So well, not so many times, but I have fucked up. Like yeah, I I don't work 100% when I'm stoned, and especially playing music, right?
Right.
I think I agree with you. Like, at least playing live music sober is like the equivalent of being high and playing music. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a rush.
it,
Yeah.
it gives me the same sense of I guess happiness or you know how playing music, live music is
Oh yeah.
like
It's a rush.
this,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a high. It's a rush.
Yeah, you get addicted to it.
Totally.
So I was gonna ask you about. So you write music in the sense of jamming. Is that the proper?
Kinda. Yeah. I mean, it kind of goes with like if I've just got a bunch of stuff I've written, like riffs or something, we'll just kind of jam that and
Yeah, or
kind of
we
connect in a
write
bunch.
a drum beat that, or
Yeah.
like but then
It
I feel like
depends.
it has to. We'll have a jam, and then we have to give it shape, and people kind of have to go off on their own and figure out their parts, you know, and then come back.
Just
So
have a-
you mean like okay, rehearse, has ended, and then you do your own stuff music wise, and then you get together and.
Yeah, figure out this. We actually have like dry erase board that we use, and we'll chart it out, and then try to, you know. And normally, I feel like that has to happen with the guitar, so that he can be like, okay, I think I'm gonna play this 4 times, and then it's gonna switch to this, and then we're gonna do that, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm fascinated by people's creative process, not only in music but in general, and how bands work when they write music, right? Like, I know people that rehearse every day, and they have like a schedule, like from this time to this time we'll write music, you know.
right.
And some other people like the guitar player will bring like a whole song.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, for me, for example, it's better to just jam and connect with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. It might not work if you have a whole song. You know, like if you're just like there'll be bits that we like jamming like that really works, and there'll be bits we'll just like forget about that bit and then just put the next part and sort of connect them all, and if they all work together, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of like a flow. You know,
We have
it's always,
one song that we wrote from a vocal part. It wasn't even lyrics. It was just like a vocal, weird vocal part, and then that's turned into like ether.
oh yeah,
And we've done some art kind of stuff, you know, and taken the band and like tried to
Yeah.
make it like
stripped it all down, kind of.
mhm.
Did like museums and stuff where like they don't want you to play full volume, so like you just have like little amplifiers, simple drum kit, and just kind of like hardly any effects, just really cut down the, you know, it's kind of like a stripped down psychedelic kind of version. We do that like as well.
And
Like-
then that'll ricochet back into like a full song sometime.
But you haven't
It's
a
like-
lot of the songs don't lean to that, so we'll have to like rewrite a lot of the songs to do that. It's just funny, we'll be like rehearsing to play like the quieter version of the band, and then we'll have a show after that, and we're like having to like think about how we get back to the louder version. It's kind of different.
So let me see if I got this right. You play shows like at museums or like
Yeah.
art exhibit. How do
Yeah.
you call it? Art exhibits.
Yeah, like like art installations and stuff like that. where
But
it's-
like your music.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's all like a kind of like a stripped down version.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like minimal drum kit, minimal guitar stuff, and like still kind of like psychedelic and kind of like washy, you know, soundscapey.
But in those setups, do you play like the same songs or do you change things so you can fit the ambience of the
Kind of the same songs.
with different arrangements.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I can imagine that maybe at an art exhibit or a museum, you can adapt your music because your music is very trippy and also very ambient.
yeah,
So you can adapt it to like to that setup of a museum, right, or an
Mhm,
exhibit,
yeah.
or I don't think you know the band Fucked Up.
uh-huh.
I saw them in a museum, and I think they play also like like a light version of their punk rock sound.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, that was fun. I can't remember what they play actually, but they also that band is really crazy too.
Mm.
Yeah,
I saw them get really crazy.
yeah. They used to play Chaos in Texas.
Yeah, Chaos in Texas. Yeah,
Chaos in you know that festival?
of course.
Like the punk rock festival. Yeah, they don't do it anymore.
I know.
So, what about recording? You do everything in Austin as well
Yeah.
by yourselves, or
No, we have an engineer that we worked with for the record.
okay?
Yeah, we did a 7-inch with a friend and a band, and then after that we recorded with this guy Charles Godfrey. He's a really amazing
Oh,
engineer.
Yeah, I read that. Did he work for Swans?
Swans, yes, Trail of Dead.
I love Trail of Death
Yeah, they just got back together and played
from
a show.
Austin.
A couple of days ago, they played
Yeah.
a show again. Yeah.
Oh wow! Didn't I used to tour with a band called Helmet. I used to
The band Helmet,
Yeah.
from New York.
from from LA now, but yeah, like the Meantime and the
Of course, one of my favorite records.
yeah. So we had a show in Austin. This is like 15 years ago, and we
Oh.
met Lori from Babes in Toyland.
Oh yeah,
She used to live
Yeah.
in Austin,
yeah.
and we had a show. That's how I know of this bar,
Red Seven.
Red Seven, yeah.
7. And she jumped into the bus and she said that she was telling us about, I think she went to one of the Trail of Death, one of the like the main guys owns or he used to own like a strip club. Like this is
Oh
like
no, the Beauty Bar.
probably I'm wrong. This is like 15 years ago.
Yeah,
but-
that was
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
But she's like, oh, he owns like a titty bar or something.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
that was Conrad. No, it was Jason.
The-
He used to have the Beauty Bar. It wasn't.
It wasn't a titty bar.
No.
I
Maybe-
mean, those guys, we're
get
we're
rowdy.
friends with them.
They get
but,
rowdy.
You know, yeah, they're rowdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love that band.
Yeah.
And you will know us by the Trail of Death.
Yeah.
Shout out to my friend Tony. She introduced me to that band like when Badon album. and I haven't stopped listening to them. I saw them 2 times. I used to live in Canada, in Toronto,
Okay.
and they play there, but I don't know why they haven't played in Mexico. They're very close.
They were toured. They toured Europe the last record. They kind of they said they were done. They were like call it quits. But then they played with Interpol a few months ago, and then they played like a couple of nights ago in Austin.
They'll
They had a
never
big they had a big show with Ringo Death Star the other night.
Okay.
Yeah.
It must be really interesting to know all these bands that for some people, especially outside of
Austin, yeah.
Austin,
Yeah.
that are like, I don't know how to say this in English, like big maybe or famous. You know what I mean? And for you, it's like, okay, these guys I know for.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's funny because, it's such a small scene, really, but it's there. All these bands that are your friends, and they're all amazing bands and musicians. There's just so much of that in Austin. But as soon as you leave Austin, people are like, "Do you know this band?" You're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Oh, it's my favorite band," and you're like, "No, that's brilliant," because you just take it for granted there because everybody plays guitar or something like that. You know everybody in every band, and it's just your friends. But it's really an amazing.
I mean, Sandy has that also a little bit in Glasgow. 'Cause we spend a little time there too, so it's and that's also I haven't spent that much time in Glasgow, but like I feel like it's a very similar music scene in that it's really small and everybody's so nice,
Right.
and there's just so much talent that it's really almost overwhelming.
Yes, no, for sure. I went, like I said, I went to see By the Trail of Death, and their guitar tech was wearing a band that in Mexico City we adore. They're called Pop Unknown,
Yeah.
like emo band, like from the late '90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not like big outside of Austin. But for some reason, in Mexico City, we love them. So when I saw this guy wearing that band's shirt, I was like, I told him like, oh, that's one of my favorite bands. And he was like, wow, do you know them? And it turned out like their driver was Pop Unknown singer, and he was in the tour, and I met him.
Wow.
Can't remember his name.
You know what the guitar tech's name was now?
No,
All right.
but he
Maybe-
used to play with what's the actress? Juliette Lewis, maybe?
Oh.
Probably. I think.
I know the drummer from Juliette Lewis. He's an old friend of mine.
Yeah, Austin is amazing.
It's funny, isn't it?
Small world.
Yeah, small. Yeah, especially like I wouldn't think you would know like any of these bands, but because maybe I'm used to live in a city with more than 20 million people.
Yeah, right.
We only have 1 million people, so you.
Well, no, the Austin metropolitan area is now 2.5.
All right. Well, one in the
Wow.
actual city, then outside
Yeah.
is 2 million. But
Wow, that's just, but even in Mexico City, like, I mean, in spite of being surrounded by millions of people, the scene is kind of, la escena es un poco así, ¿no?
that's
Like,
what,
we
that's
kinda
what
know
Jorge was saying. It's really small scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things have changed now. Like, we were talking with Jorge actually last Saturday about like how we need to support each other, and instead of creating different scenes, maybe all scenes should come together. Like the
Yeah.
punk rockers with the doomers, with the stoners, with the
Totally.
hardcore people.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's divided, I guess. Back in the day, it was more united when this place El Alicia, those Mexican CBGBs, they used to put out like hardcore shows with ska bands. But then like the ska scene grew up. Like the ska scene in Mexico, they don't need like neither the punks or the they have their own scene, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's los ska, pues, güey, son grandes, ¿no? Enormes. Yeah, like they fill out like like one of the biggest Mexican bands. They sold out like a place for like 50,000 people, like two nights in a row, like ska band.
Wow.
Not even in the States,
50,
right?
50,000.
50,000. Yeah, 50,000.
Why do you think it got so big like that?
Because you have to add the social
Right.
theme, because they sing to
Mm-hmm.
they sing about social themes, so people are connected to that,
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I mean, and they've been doing it like this band. I forgot their Pantheon Rococo. They have their own PA in Europe. No,
Okay.
not PA, backline.
Oh yeah.
So they don't carry instruments. Because they play once a year in
much.
Europe. They play so much that they have their instruments there. I mean, some of their instruments there.
That's a dream. That's a dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream, right? So one last question. How about gear? Are you gear nerds?
I'm kind of a bit of a gear nerd, I think.
I kind of saw your gear at one of your videos. So you have like, what amps you have? Like an orange?
Yeah. I mean, at home I have orange, and then on tour is quilter. The quilter ones, small ones.
Oh, I love those. I
Yeah.
haven't tried. Well, I have people that own those,
Yeah.
but I want one because it's loud, but it's very.
It's twice as loud as the orange, and it's portable, and yeah.
But you still have like pedals, right? Are you fan of the how they call it, like the Line 6s and the Campers and the Helix and you know what I'm talking about?
Don't know any of those.
Is it that? But you know what are those?
No.
¿Cómo se llaman los? Like emulador. Like
IRs and amplifier emulators.
Okay, no.
no. So just to give you a quick explanation. So it's like devices that
Okay.
you can add. Like you have everything, every type of band.
Oh, okay. They're just like a big pedal that has
Yeah,
every
yeah,
effect
that-
on it. Nah,
They have like
not interested.
they
I
have
like to do the work.
they have like amplifiers, speakers, everything.
I've heard about these things.
But I understand why in your band you're not into that, because there's something beautiful about moving your own knobs, and and doing that.
We do a little bit of that, and like
I love that.
maybe like a song, but like a lot of it's just like 3 different pedal chains with different gain stages and mixtures of different pedals all going at once. So it's kind of like it's like a jigsaw puzzle.
And so you divide your signal in like for bass.
Bass and then 2 guitar signals, 2 different.
So the bass one is independent.
And on the 2 guitars are independent too.
Okay, so for looping and stuff like that.
Well, there's just like the bass one, and then there's the guitar one that has all the effects and some loops, and then there's like another guitar chain. It's just all gnarly stuff, all the really gnarly stuff you put on top of it, so you can turn them on and off when you want, for different songs and loops.
Right.
and-
Right. And is that the setup you use to travel as well?
Yeah. I try to break it down, but I just can't, because
Yeah.
every song has,
Its own personality.
or like combinations. It's just
Every airport, it's always like, hi, please.
Yeah, you have to get there like 4 hours before.
yeah.
Before it says,
It's
"Okay,
usually
check."
all right.
We're
It's
just
usually
musicians, please let us.
Yeah.
Don't charge us. Thank you.
it's not bad.
Yeah, I know they charge a lot of money for shit like that.
They
right?
try. I
Yeah.
try to smile very nicely.
Yeah. Have you seen the Instagram account TCA, the official TCA account?
No.
No.
So funny. I don't like TCA because they're very rude. but the Instagram account is so funny because it's like silly, like silly, and sometimes they show like musician shit, like pedals, because they think it's like bomb detonators.
Right, totally.
Yeah, and they check everything. And
Yeah, today they looked in the bag and they were like, I was like, it's guitar stuff. I went, okay. Like,
Yeah. They don't want to deal with that. But anyways, so we have a show in Mexico City, one in Guadalajara, and one in León. So tomorrow, miércoles, Wednesday, it's House of Bands, 7 p.m. Is it 7 p.m., Jorge? Doors 7 p.m. It's free. You don't have to fuck. I keep forgetting this word.
Sin registro.
No, sin registro, no register.
Or, yeah, like RSVP.
No sign up.
Yeah,
No
okay.
sign up. It's sponsored by Hypnosis. I hope you get some bands, like some tennis shoes. I think I heard that bands that play there, they get shoes, right?
I'm
I
gonna
think
hold you.
so.
I'm holding you to that.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I don't promise anything, but that's what I heard. So, mañana pandilla, miércoles, los que estén escuchando, House of Bands, va a estar bueno. Jorge de Muto Tapes, si quieres acércate. Creo que es ahí.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás, amigo?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Bien. Aquí dándote la bienvenida. A ver, deja ver si hay cámara para ti. No, mejor en esa. Ponte allá. Tenemos un invitado que acaba de llegar, nuestro amigo Jorge de Muto Tapes.
¿Qué onda?
Ya estás ahí.
Listo.
Cuéntanos del show de mañana, güey.
Pues super show para cerrar el año, ¿no?
Sí.
Tengo entendido que es la posada de Hipnosis, entonces va a haber mucho ruido aquí con unos buenos amigos y grandes músicos. ¿Qué más? Va a estar Oculto también, que son
Oculto.
buenos cuates, son nuestros vecinos de Cuarto Ensayo.
Muto Tapes.
Muto Tapes y pues ya con eso, cabrón, ¿para qué más, no? Va a estar divertido, gratis, ¿no? La
con
gorra
las puñaladas.
increíble, exacto, y listo, ¿no? Sin registro, eso es importante también porque nos preguntaban, oye, pero luego el registro se satúa la página, no se preocupen, mañana es, nada más hay que formarse y llegar temprano, ¿no?
Ok, y luego tiene fecha en...
Nos vamos a Guadalajara, Día de la Virgen, allá a celebrar con la banda de Catarsis.
12 de diciembre.
12 de diciembre y está bueno, es ahí todos los power dúos, vamos a tocar con unos buenos amigos, los Taco Verde.
Ajá, Jordi, ¿no?
Ajá,
Viejos.
Jordi, que ya hemos tocado con él, que también toca en los... Ya tocamos con él aquí en el Rebel, con los Taco Verde, y bueno, cuando él toca
Va.
con los viejos. Entonces es Taco Verde, Skloss y... se me fue la otra banda. Es que hubo un
Bury Me in the Desert. Bury Me in the
Bury
Desert.
Me in the Desert. Es que hubo un cambio de line-up ahí medio de última semana. Entonces ahí... Pero sí, es en Arcano Galería. Entonces también para que le avisen a sus
Y luego
cuates
en
de
León, en
Guadalajara.
el internacionalmente famoso El Callejón.
En el Callejón, ¿qué tal?
Sí.
Entonces,
Pues para que apoyen, ¿no?
el Palacio de la Caguama.
Muy bien,
el
amigos.
Callejón, sí.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming to the show. I'll
Gracias.
see
Cheers.
you
Gracias.
probably tomorrow. I hope
Yeah.
you had fun. It wasn't like the typical interview, I think.
Okay.
We talk
Sure.
about drugs, politics,
Comedy.
music,
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
What else? What else did we talk about? Mexico,
Mexico.
ska, punk, Los Crudos, everything. I think we covered
Scotland.
Scotland, Glasgow. Yeah.
I wanted to. I've something I wanted to say earlier about how Karen, how different her lives were growing up. She was raised Catholic, and she got to take the Virgin Mary home, from school. And I was raised Protestant, and we would take a guinea pig home. If we were really well behaved, you get to take the classroom pet home and look after it. And most of the time, kids would just return with the cage empty because it would either get away or it just died.
Oh shit.
So, you get the Virgin Mary, take her home. You can't kill the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
You
no,
could
no.
break it.
You could break her.
I think that did happen.
And they will make you, and Catholics will make you feel guilty for breaking.
Oh,
Yes. Very guilty.
Yeah.
Protestants would just make you laugh at it. They're like, "Ha, good job."
Yeah, no, Catholics will make you feel guilty. Right?
Penance, the penance.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why Karen's behind the drum kit hitting really hard. She's got this Catholic guilt. She's like, "Fuck."
Getting it out. Getting it out.
You have to let it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
What is your Bandcamp? Skloss, Bandcamp.
Skloss.bandcamp.com.
And did you bring merch for
Did
tomorrow?
records, t-shirts, beer
Okay.
koozies.
Everything.
Yes.
Is Skloss not Skloss Duo?
I don't know.
Did you bring
No, it's just Skloss.bandcamp. Yeah.
Virgin Mary statues as merch?
Yes,
you
there's a
should.
few-
You
there's
should
just a
do
few.
one but instead with the rope, make her wear like a Skloss T-shirt,
Yes.
and like this, and like Skloss, like the
And,
Virgin
and
Mary.
crying the bloody tears.
Exactly.
This next one's for the Virgin Mary.
Bueno, amigos, pues ha sido un placer. Ahorita ya tenemos otra entrevista con Escara desde Cali y nos vemos, pues no sé cuándo. Conversaciones de Altura en YouTube. Suscríbanse y compartan. Nos vemos.